This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 12th day of April in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana government has approved the petroleum production license to Stabroek Block operator Mobil for its sixth development offshore Guyana at Whiptail. The $12.7 billion development is expected to produce 250,000 barrels of oil daily, bringing total production to 1.3 million by the end of 2027. A release from the Ministry of Natural Resources explained that the development will include up to 10 drill centers with 48 production and injection wells, while the construction of the floating production and offloading vessel identified for the development remains in progress. The vessel will join the Liza Destiny, Liza Unity, and Prosperity FPSOs, which combined are currently producing over 500,000 barrels of oil daily. Construction is also in progress for the Yellowtail and Uaru development, the Natural Resources Ministry said. It was explained that production for those projects is slated to commence in 2025 and 2026. The ministry also said oil production from the sixth development will generate billions in revenue for the country, thereby supporting significant economic and social upliftment for the country and its people. Meanwhile, both Mobil and the Hess company said they are moving apace with the Whiptail development offshore Guyana after receiving the required government and regulatory approvals. Mobil president of upstream company Liam Mallon said the project will be beneficial to both the company and citizens. He said the unrivaled success in developing the Guyana resource at industry-leading pace, cost, and environmental performance is built on close collaboration with the government, as well as its partners, suppliers, and contractors. The Stabroek Block developments, he noted, are among the lowest emissions intensity assets in ExxonMobil's upstream portfolio and will provide the world with additional reliable energy supplies now and for years to come. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Linden, it's time for the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. This year, Big Man to a Skylark. Join Go Mosley Entertainment on Thursday the 2nd of May at the Mackenzie Bandstand for 5 big bands: Stitchy, Super Ray, Murphy, the Castro Brothers, and for the first time in Linden, the one-woman band Queen Makiba.
But when I see what I was getting, boy, I start to shiver, cause I know I'm gonna able with that to get me young boy.
Plus DJ Granny Ivy will be live. Party like never before. It's a one-man band and one-woman band fete for Linden Town Week, Thursday the 2nd of May at the Mackenzie Bandstand. Big Man to a Skylark. Compliments of GTT, Sheriff Security, 592Ts, Banks Beer, Guinness, and XM Rums. Drink responsibly for the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. Big Man to a Skylark.
Holiday spending put a dent in your cash. Top up your pockets in the Cash Splash promotion. Win over $5 million, including over $1 million in our weekly draws. Just purchase any booster, turbo, Fruta, Cool Kids or Viva, look for the 8-digit code starting with 786. Then visit Facebook or IG at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean for more details.
Turning now to the housing sector, 1,500 persons from the West Bank of Demerara were today allocated house lots by the Central Housing and Planning Authority. The lots are the first to be issued in the new Wills Housing Development Scheme on the West Bank of Demerara. During the Housing Ministry's Dream Realized event today to distribute the house lots, Housing Minister Colin Crowe said the move is a testament that the government has kept its promise to improve the lives of the residents in the region through home ownership. While reminding that it is just the first step to home ownership, he said the government will be working to ensure community infrastructure is in place as fast as possible so that the allotted can move to the next phase of their home building.
We are committed to providing complete communities in the housing areas, so you can expect the roads, the drainage, the bridges and culverts, as well as, to complement that, the water distribution systems. To be included by the time for the infrastructure works, all of this, by the time within 1 year, we're expecting to have these works completed.
The families who were allocated their house lots fall within the low, moderate and middle income brackets. When completed, the scheme will boast its own recreational spaces, playground, its own police station, its own fire station, health centers, daycare, nursery, primary and secondary schools, along with the post office and the magistrate's court. The new housing development will see approximately 4,700 lots in total when completed. Allocation for lots in the scheme will continue over time and is expected to address the backlog of pending applications in the region. The Region 3 area has a backlog of 11,000 applications.
We are committed, as everyone has said, to delivering by 2025, which means next year, to our 50,000 house lots. In this year, while this is our first major activity, in this year already, we have allocated 1,316 lots. And from 2020 to now, since we're in office, we are over the 31,000 mark. Region 3 alone has seen 20% of that total allocation. 20% of the 31,000 went to Region 3. That's the second highest because you'll recognize, and obviously Region 4 is the highest.
It was announced that an estimated $11.2 billion worth of infrastructure works will be carried out in the Phase 2 of the project and will cover roads, drainage, culverts, and bridges. Opposition Member of Parliament David Patterson is warning the government against the use of a power barge as a temporary fix to the electricity crisis facing the country, on the basis that it is not a feasible option. Vice President Barry Jagdeo on Thursday disclosed that the government is locked in negotiations with a foreign company to supply emergency power here. He said the vessel could arrive in the country within 3 weeks once an agreement is reached. However, in an interview with News Source, MP Patterson warned that the option the government may be considering is not feasible and could result in the country spending millions of US dollars.
Because of their mistakes, so they're going to go and spend another, I don't know, how much X amount of $1 million bringing in a power barge or some sort of temporary equipment to help sort out a problem, a hole that they have dug. So it's not feasible. It's one of those things, you know what I mean? You just think about it, how you're going to power this power barge, how you're going to refuel it, how you're going to hook it up. Or if not a barge, whatever engine they're going to do, you know what I mean?
It's a move by the government to secure emergency power supply as the power outages rock the nation comes approximately 4 months after the government imported 17 generating sets valued at $27 million with the hope of meeting the energy needs of the country. However, the Guyana Power and Light Company appears to be struggling to install the generating sets. It has since promised to install the additional equipment needed to inject additional power to the national grid by this weekend. However, the Vice President said he is not too optimistic about that. He is, however, hopeful that the government will be able to wrap up negotiations with a foreign company for the supply of emergency power here by this weekend.
That will see a significant injection of power into the grid in addition to what we have. So this will be, we intend to contract this for 2 years until the gas to energy project is completed. So we're hoping that within a matter of weeks, we'll be able to bring the situation back to normalcy and then have extra capacity to address any failure of equipment like we have experienced recently.
But opposition Member of Parliament David Patterson believes that in an effort to address the plethora of challenges facing GPL, there should first be a change in management and the provision of subsidy to major companies as part of a menu of measures to address the electricity shortage within the system.
First thing I would do immediately is tell the people, acknowledge that there's a problem. Say that you are short of 20 megawatts producing power, power production. Thus, unfortunately, for the next 6 weeks or so, we'd have to do power rationing. Publish a schedule and stick to the schedule. I think even though people will be very annoyed of being in blackout, they will be forewarned. Right now we have fairy lights, you know what I mean, you are unsure, you can't plan. But if you say this in your power schedule and you set out, you divide up the power rationing equitably 4 hours just to save it. Then I would also recommend that they provide a subsidy to commercial and large producers so they can come off the grid. What they're doing is penalizing these people, right? These large consumers. What they started doing is for being on the grid. In other words, they're charging them more.
Patterson said by providing the major consumers with a subsidy to allow for self-generation, the power company could then focus on meeting the demands of domestic consumers. Further, he said there is a need for the companies to establish a plan that would see it acquiring new dual-fuel generating sets within a period of a year to meet current and future demands for electricity. The leader of the Alliance for Change, Kemraj Ramjatan, today expressed deep concern over the failure of the Parliamentary Oversight Committee on the security sector to meet amid an upsurge in crime and violence in the country. During the party's weekly press conference today, Mr. Ramjatan, who is a former Minister of Public Security under the former APNU-AFC government, said a rise in serious crimes such as murders and robberies, in addition to increased reports of domestic violence and smuggling of items, cannot be ignored. According to him, it is damaging the psyche of Guyanese, just like the cost of living. And as a singular fact, it has stimulated a new exodus of skilled professionals and entrepreneurs. He said it is important that the Parliamentary Oversight Committee on the security sector meets to discuss the critical issues.
Case of my Parliamentary Committee on Security, they named the chairperson, they named the members, and we have never had back another meeting. So we can't call the Commissioner of Police, we can't call any of the crime chief to testify there as to what is happening to crime. We can't scrutinize them, we can't ask them any question. And they have literally taken away that from us. These are powerful committees where we can get answers to as to what's happening to crime. Question the crime statistics, question the policy and the administration, why this person wasn't promoted.
The Parliamentary Oversight Committee on the Security Sector examines the policies and administration of the entities in the security sector, namely the Disciplined Forces of Guyana. Currently, it is headed by the Prime Minister Mark Phillips and includes the Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben, Minister of Governance Gilda Shearer, and Labour Minister Joe Hamilton. The opposition members are Jermaine Figueira, Marine Philadelphia, and Kemraj Ramjatan. The committee has the power to co-opt experts or enlist the aid of other persons of appropriate expertise, whether or not such experts or persons are members of the National Assembly. Ramjatan said despite those vast powers, the government has failed to operationalize the committee, even as it politicizes the security forces, in particular the Guyana Police Force, he said. He said the government's failure to convene the committee is a clear indication that it has no desire of transparency and accountability. But even as a member of parliament expressed concern about the security sector, he's also facing criticism, with the former member of parliament for the AFC, Trevor Williams, questioning his leadership of the security sector under the David Granger administration. Today, Ramjatan brushed aside the criticism, telling reporters that the security sector was better managed under the coalition.
I rather suspect that there are other reasons that he has been compromised by to do what he did. But we all know that under the Alliance for Change APNU coalition, so much was done for security. Everybody in this country, let me tell you, would say that the security of this country and the professionalism of the police force rose to its highest levels in the coalition government. But it has been politicized, it has been totally corrupted, and that is why we have what we have today. And the PPP is going to get people like the Trevor Williams and so on. I hope that you are not related to him, because I don't want to get too scalding here. But whatever it is, they're going to get those kinds of people to do their propaganda work.
As he continued to brush aside the criticism of Williams, Ramjatan reiterated the importance of the committee meeting, insisting that it must be allowed to do its work.
Hi, my name is Keisha Davis. First of 4 siblings. I'm a mom of 3 and I'm an auditor.
My brother Tariq is a transgender man, which means he was born female but now lives as a man. He's always known himself to be.
He's great at math. I'm horrible. And he actually helps my 12-year-old daughter with her math. As soon as he gets home at night, he'll say, "Jazz, let's go. What would you like me to help you with?" She actually got a prize in school for full score at math and English. Tariq is my rock. Like, honestly, my confidant. No matter what it is, no matter how horrible it might look through others' eyes, he doesn't judge. And he is there to support me, to support my kids. I don't know what I would do without him.
Linden, it's time for the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. This year, Big Man Door Skylark. Join Go Mosley Entertainment on Thursday the 2nd of May at the Mackenzie Bandstand for 5 big bands: Stitchy, Super Ray, Murphy, the Castro Brothers, and for the first time in Linden, the one-woman band Queen Makiba.
But when I see what I was getting, boy, I start to shiver, cause I know I'm unable with that. Get me, young boy.
Plus DJ Granny Ivy will be live. Party like never before. It's a one-man band and one-woman band fete for Linden Town Week. Thursday the 2nd of May at the Mackenzie Bandstand. Big Man Tour Skylark. Compliments of GTT, Sheriff Security, 592Ts, Banks Beer, Guinness, and XM Rums. Drink responsibly for the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. Big Man Tour Skylark.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
Opposition Member of Parliament Roysdale Ford, who is challenging his party leader Aubrey Norton for the leadership of the People's National Congress reform, said the party's presidential candidate or that of the coalition should be decided at an election primary. Norton, who is confident of his re-election at the PNCR's Biennial Delegates Congress, said once re-elected, he would automatically become the party's presidential candidate heading into next year's elections. But Ford, during a recent campaign launch, said there should be two separate races for leadership of the PNCR and for the presidential candidate. However, while he holds those views, Ford said he certainly would not make himself unavailable for the post, but emphasized that whatever decision is taken, it should be taken at the level of an election primary. He said in the spirit of compromise, he will do what is best for the PNCR and the larger coalition. The Senior Counsel said the concept of an election primary would be nothing new to the People's National Congress reform, and reminded that David Granger was elected as the party's presidential candidate, even as Robert Corbyn was serving as party leader. However, with his eyes set on the leadership of the party, Ford told reporters that it is his intention to reunite the coalition and even seek new partners. It was the coming together of the APNU and AFC in 2015 that led to the defeat of the People's Progressive Party. However, after suffering a major blow at the 2020 elections, the AFC opted not to renew the Cummings-Berg Accord, which brought the two sides together in 2015. A 36-year-old Festival City laborer was stabbed to death this morning in the Tuckville area, and investigators have arrested a 42-year-old woman and her son. Investigators have identified the dead man as Amaziah Hohenkirk. According to a statement from the police, the Festival City man got into a row on Thursday night with a 42-year-old woman, Alicia Edmondson, and one of her sons over some damages to a speaker system belonging to her son. The argument reportedly spilled over into this morning in the Tuckville area, and during another confrontation between the woman and the laborer, she reportedly armed herself with a knife and stabbed the man to the abdomen and to his two hands. The injured man, Amaziah Hohenkirk, was rushed to the Georgetown Hospital, where he died while being treated for the stab wounds. Police investigators later arrested the woman and her son. Charges are likely in the new week. Police in Quarantine Berbice have launched an investigation into the murder of 52-year-old Ninawati Nandalal. The woman's lifeless body was discovered in the back dam of Number North Village Quarantine. There are reports that there were a number of marks of violence on her body. Her family members had reported to the police last evening that they had concerns about her whereabouts after she could not be located. The police said 3 persons have since been taken into custody as the investigations are ongoing tonight.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo. From its pristine rivers to its abundant resources, it's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Holiday spending put a dent in your cash. Top up your pocket. It's in the Cash Splash promotion. Win over $5 million, including over $1 million in our weekly draws. Just purchase any Buster, Turbo, Fruita, Cool Kids or Viva. Look for the 8-digit code starting with 786. Then visit Facebook or IG at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean for more details.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. The Grenada government has banned nationals from Yemen from applying for citizenship under the island's Citizenship by Investment Program (CBI). Yemen has become the 7th country whose nationals are unable to apply for citizenship through the program that provides for foreign investors to make a substantial investment in the socio-economic development of the island in return for being granted citizenship. The other nationals banned from the program are from Iran, North Korea, Russia, Sudan, and Afghanistan. However, there is an opening for people born in Iran, Sudan, Afghanistan, and Yemen. They must reside all of their lives in a territory or territories that is not sanctioned by Grenada. They could also become a citizen of Grenada if they migrated before the age of maturity and resided for more than 10 years to territories that are not sanctioned by Grenada. U.S. officials met representatives of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in Mexico this week to express concerns about Venezuela's electoral process, a White House official said on Friday. According to Reuters, the secret meeting was held as an April 18 deadline approached for the United States to decide whether to reimpose sanctions on Venezuela's oil industry in response to what Washington sees as Maduro's failure to make good on commitments for free and fair elections later this year. The Biden administration has vowed to reinstate oil sanctions that it suspended in October unless Maduro makes progress on meeting his promises for the July 28 presidential election. His government has set up major obstacles to participation by the opposition, including barring its leading candidate, Maria Corina Machado, from running against Maduro. Daniel Erickson, the White House Senior Director for Western Hemisphere Affairs, led the U.S. delegation in the talks, which were held on Tuesday in Mexico. Bloomberg News was first to report on the meeting. The NSC spokesperson declined to provide details on the discussions, including whether the participants talk about sanctions on the OPEC member Venezuela, or if any progress was made or differences narrowed. And finally tonight, international news. Less than 2 months before European voters in 27 countries take part in the EU Parliament elections, Belgium says it is investigating pro-Russian networks that are trying to influence the vote. Moscow's aim was to bring more pro-Russian candidates into the European Parliament, said Prime Minister Alexander De Croo. He said weakened support for Ukraine serves Russia on the battlefield. The Czech government said recently that it had broken up a pro-Kremlin network. Intelligence agencies in Poland said the Voice of Europe news website had been funded by Moscow to spread propaganda and funnel cash to sympathetic European politicians. The website has not responded to the allegations. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.